Welcome back to High Hope Sportscast. JJ, how are you doing tonight?
What's up, DJ? We're in the house on a Thursday night. It's supposed to get real chilly down here in Minnie. But what's up with you, DJ?
Not much. Had to represent the Vikings as it is a big day for us Vikings fans. And that is where we'll get into the show here. If you follow the NFL, and if you're Vikings fans, you already know about this. Today, finally official. We knew this day was going to come. It kind of made us nervous with rumors, but it's officially official today. Kevin O'Connell was officially hired by the Vikings to be the 10th head coach in team history. And he had his press conference a few hours ago. And I only got to catch, I don't know, maybe the first 5 minutes of it. But I plan to watch the whole thing in its entirety. So, Kevin O'Connell, he was the offensive coordinator for the Rams. They just won the Super Bowl on Sunday. Hasn't even been a week. So he won the Super Bowl. Got to celebrate a couple days. They had the parade yesterday. We'll get into that a little bit later here. And I believe he flew in to Minnesota last night. I saw the video of him getting off the plane, getting greeted by someone from the Vikings staff. And it just I know I told JJ a couple weeks ago that I'm not really excited yet. I got to see the results, but now seeing, just the videos and everything else, that it's official that Kevin O'Connell is officially our coach now. And, I couldn't ask for anything better. The end of the season, the regular season here, I was kind of preaching that we need a young quarterback a young head coach and offensive mind, and he's both of these. And who better, like I said before, who better to be the guy than Sean McVay's offensive coordinator, and he just won a Super Bowl. So I think we're in good hands here. So we'll see how it pans out with Kevin O'Connell. You have anything to add there, JJ?
Sure, DJ. I got some stuff pulled up on Pro Football Reference (PFR), and he's only 36 years old, and he went to San Diego State as a college quarterback, and he's 6'5", 225. So as you noticed in the press conference today, he's taller than Quasey, and the Wilfs are pretty short guys, so it didn't take much. But he was drafted in the third round, 94th overall in the 2008 NFL draft to the New England Patriots. He only got 2 games of experience, basically 2 for 3 passing, 23 yards. And he's been 3 years as a coach. And he got, I just let me get this loaded up here when I tell you that he was a coach with the Washington Redskins. And he was a coach, offensive coordinator with the Redskins, and he's been the offensive coordinator 2020 and 2021 with the LA Rams. So his statistics offensively are very entertaining to the Minnesota side of things, what we've been doing. But he kind of, Joe Schmidt on KSTP at the news tonight basically said that to expect more of Rams-like offense coming to Minnesota. But as a fan, I've made up my mind. I don't want to have Kevin O'Connell hitched up to Kirk Cousins. I don't know about you, DJ. I think you're feeling the same way.
Yeah. There's kind of one quarterback out there that I kind of want. We'll get into that here in a few minutes here. So, but I just wanted to kind of go over this thing. JJ just sent me this about, I don't know, an hour ago or so. And it's the current Vikings coaching staff as of now. Obviously, not every position has been filled, but just kind of a little insight to what Kevin O'Connell's coaching staff is going to look like so far. So Kevin O'Connell, obviously, he's head coach now, and his former job was the Rams offensive coordinator. And then we got QB coach. He brought Chris O'Hara over from the Rams, and he was the Rams offensive assistant. And then assistant QB coach Jared Johnson, he was with the Colts. And then running back, running backs coach Curtis Modkins, he was running backs coach for the Broncos. And looks like the only guy staying on the coaching staff for the Vikings is Keenan McCardell, and he is the wide receivers coach. And then we go down to tight ends coach Brian Angelico. He was tight ends coach with the Panthers. So he was over there in the circus with Matt Rule. And then these next 3 guys were all with the Broncos. So we got the O-line coach, Chris Cooper, I think his name is, or Cooper or Cupper. He was the Broncos' assistant offensive line coach. Assistant offensive line coach for us, Justin Rastity. I think that's how you pronounce it. He was also with the Broncos. And then defensive coordinator, Ed Donatel. He was the defensive coordinator over there in Denver with the Broncos. And then defensive line coach, Chris Rumpf, one of those two. He was the defensive line coach for the Bears. And then the only other one here is Mike Pettin. Some of you might remember him from when he was the head coach with the Cleveland Browns. That's kind of where I know him from the most. He will be Kevin O'Connell's assistant head coach, and his former job was the senior defensive advisor for the Bears. Obviously, we haven't gotten a OC lined up. I'm assuming they'll probably hold some more interviews for that position. So it'll be really interesting to see who Kevin O'Connell's OC is going to be.
Well, the rumors are right now, DJ, is that he's got a guy named Wes Phillips and another guy with the last name Brown. And Wes Phillips was the tight end coach at LA. So I don't know if it's coming down to interviews or natural selection or personal choice by Kevin O'Connell, but it's exciting. We're going to have a lot of championship coaches in the room helping Kevin O'Connell. He did announce today he will be calling the plays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator isn't going to be calling them. O'Connell will be.
He's going to be a total coach, but his main focus will be the offense.
Oh,
But that excites me actually because he called plays a little bit in Washington, but Sean McVay was calling the plays in LA. He was just O'Connell was the offensive coordinator title, but he was the pass game coordinator. So everything Kupp and Woods and OBJ and Blanton and all the running backs in the house, and I mean he's utilizing everybody in their offense. But don't you think it's kind of strange that he's really put a focus on hiring the tight ends position coaching?
Yeah, I mean, they did utilize, Tyler Higbee. He was pretty good Rams tight end. So I don't know. Maybe he's gonna focus on the tight ends. Maybe he sees something with Irv Smith Jr. and Tyler Conklin. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna put some extra focus in that.
Yeah, I guess that's the exciting point we're at. It's like it's just all fresh and new. We don't know what to expect. When you went back with Zimmer 8 years, by the 6th year, you knew exactly what was going to happen. Pretty much, there wasn't much changes.
No,
and all the defensive guys he had, DJ. Just to finish my thought, they're all 3 down linemen, 4 linebacker. So there's going to be 5 people on the defensive line. 2 will be standing up and 3 will be in a 3-point stance. It's called a 34. So all the defensive guys he's got in the house are all 34 masters. So it sounds like we're transitioning to a base 3-4 defense with a nickel, which would be 4-2-4 or 4-2-5. There'll be 5 secondary, 2 up linebackers, and 4 guys on the line. But we don't know if they'll be standing or 3-point or a 4-point stance. But it'll be interesting. I mean, that's kind of the things I follow a lot as a defense. So I like to stay up on top of that.
Right.
What's your thoughts, DJ?
I don't know. It's gonna be nice for to get a change in ability for once. Like you said with Zimmer, we knew that year to year there wasn't going to be much of changes. So I'm excited to kind of get a whole fresh coaching staff and just try and mesh it together and see what kind of coaching staff what they can do with this team, and hopefully get to where Kevin O'Connell just was last Sunday, and that's hoisting the Lombardi Trophy in February. So, and going back to when you said that O'Connell wasn't calling the plays in LA. No, yeah, that is true. I did see a video clip. I don't know if it was before the Super. I want to say it was a couple days before the Super Bowl, and it must have been a touchdown play, and you could see it on the sidelines. McVay is just obviously he's a hyped up guy. He always is, but he's just all hyped up, excited, and he looks at Kevin and he says, great call, Kevin." So there must have been certain times where Kevin O'Connell actually did call plays. I don't think that it was 100% McVay calling the plays because of that. He basically said that Kevin O'Connell made that call. So maybe there were certain times, or maybe there were certain times where McVay's like went on the headset like, "Hey, Kevin, what do you think we should do here?" And then he's like, "Oh, let's do this." So then McVay takes that and sends it into the headset into Stafford. So I don't know. Maybe that's how it played out. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, totally. I think coaches that have excellent assistants and OCs and of course position coaches, they all play a part in the overall offensive game plan. And when you get the title offensive coordinator like Kevin O'Connell had, like you just reiterated and what you just explained, DJ, is a perfect example of how it works when the offensive coordinator doesn't necessarily call the plays. Same thing's happening with Andy Reid and Bieniemy in Kansas City for another example. You know, if McVay or Reid go to their offense coordinators, ask them what they would like to do over the headset, I'm sure they're always snap ready with some type of scenario. So it just helps the head coach, if that's going to be our guy, Kevin O'Connell. Hopefully we get the right cohesiveness between the offensive coordinator as well.
Yeah. So it's definitely gonna be interesting, and I'm actually, I said before I wasn't excited, but I'm getting excited now, JJ. um,
Yes.
it's a young coach, and it's our hometown team. It's the Vikings. Yeah, we've had, we don't have very good luck. Us as fans, we know what letdown is way too much, and it's just you just kind of have to support your hometown team, and I just think that this is a fresh start for us, and I hope that we can make the most out of it, and I hope this coaching hire with Kevin O'Connell and the whole coaching staff, to be honest, for that matter, I just hope that it's the right fit, and we can get the chemistry with the coaching staff and all the players, and just get everyone on the same page as quick as possible, and go get that Lombardi. So that's the ultimate goal. So let's hope for the best.
I mean, I don't know how much you listen, DJ, but he really put an emphasis on the culture, similar to what PJ Fleck, the golfer coach, has tried to change and has been on the whole time. So he kind of gave examples where the Vikings were not doing well or not having success, and he's really going to be focusing as being a coach for the change in culture that's needed to take us to the big championship games. So that kind of got me excited. Wanting to change the Zimmer effect to this new breed of offense with Kevin O'Connell and a young guy. He's only 36, so
Right. Yeah, he could potentially be our head coach for many, many years. He could be like a Mike Tomlin, where he's just been there for years and years and years.
totally.
And I'm excited. I definitely can see our offense just being so explosive and so much more exciting than it has been with Zimmer. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited as all heck, and I just think that if the Broncos or the If the Bengals can do it with Joe Burrow in year 2, I think we could do it within 3 years or less with the roster we got right now, with the young guys we got right now, the core guys. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it just gets you excited, I guess.
Yeah. And then kind of this next thing is it's kind of Vikings related. Well, it is. There's been some QB rumors about the Vikings. The first one is I don't really know which one to start with here. So um, Deshaun Watson, we all know he's got legal allegations going, and we don't know what's going to transpire with that and everything. But apparently, reportedly, his wish list, he's got 2 teams that he wants to be traded to as of right now. I feel like that list has changed since, all of his legal actions and stuff like that has started. But apparently, there's 2 teams, and it's the Bucks and the Vikings. Uh,
Ooh.
I honestly, I don't know if I'll get any backlash on this, but uh, I, I don't know. I have a gut feeling we'll have Kirk this year. That's just my gut feeling. I don't think Kirk is going anywhere this year. But if I had it my way, in a perfect world, I guess if you want to say that, I really want Deshaun Watson. He is a star player. He's a mobile quarterback. He might not be as an accurate passer as Kirk. Kirk does have the accuracy stats, but I I don't know. You put Deshaun Watson and you give him Thielen and Jefferson and Osborne and then Irv Smith Jr. and then Dalvin Cook behind him. Man, I would love
Sounds
to
pretty
see
fun
that.
to me, DJ.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and then Deshaun Watson's legs on top of that, man.
he's an exciting quarterback. He's a Pro Bowler. He's only 26 years old, I believe, or 25. If we could swing a trade, I'm not against the trade at all. I just don't want to see the Vikings give up too much.
Right.
But
That's kind of the second thing. The first thing is you don't know what's going to go on with his legal stuff. You don't know if he's going to end up having to serve jail time or he could he could play for us for a while and then all of a sudden boom something comes up and he's in jail for how many ever years, then we're screwed. So I kind of, if this happens, the only way that this happens is if his legal stuff gets all figured out in the next, I don't know, maybe 2 months. It might be less than that, but I'll say at the most in the next 2 months.
well, free agency's coming fast and furious, DJ. I'd like to think the ownership and Quasey would come up with a plan quarterback moving forward, but I mean O'Connell's in a rough position, Kevin O'Connell, because he had the experience with Kirk in Washington when he was the offensive coordinator out there. So honestly, DJ, I just really think that it's time for a quarterback change. 4 years of Kirk was one playoff win, no division wins. Kirk was not the missing piece. Everybody thought that Kirk was the missing piece to put us over the hump to win a Super Bowl, and it didn't work out. So now we got rid of the guy that hired Kirk, and we got rid of the coach that coached Kirk, barely, according to what we hear in the rumors.
Right.
But it's just maybe it's time to trade Kirk and get a stopgap quarterback. And unfortunately, DJ, to get a top 10 pick, you got to be a crappy team. So that's the Russian roulette you face every offseason is which direction are we going to take the franchise? And a lot of people always say, let's run it back. Let's run it back. Well, we can't keep running it back. And besides, our superstar talent is in their 30s now, including Adam Thielen and Harrison Smith. So the time to strike is to build around that core move would set our franchise with a new coach and a GM for 5 to 10 seasons. It just makes a lot of sense. And I don't know if you've seen this, DJ, but I'm going to throw it out there. Kyler Murray has scrubbed his social media of all Arizona Cardinal mentionings. Did you see that?
That I was going to mention that I think the last episode, but I didn't get to it. And apparently he's asking for like a lot more money. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just something I heard, but that would be nice to get Tyler too. But I just think that one, I don't think we should afford that one. I don't know, but I mean that'd be my two picks if it were possible to get. I would kind of lean more towards Tyler just because he doesn't have all these legal stuff,
Yeah.
and so if we did Tyler, we wouldn't have to worry about that. So, but I think Deshaun Watson would be an awesome addition to this team. And then another one, I don't know. I saw something posted from somewhere that the Vikings were eyeing Carson Wentz. I don't know. Like I said, it's a rumor, so I don't know how much truth there is to that. And apparently, O'Connell is kind of talking about building around Kirk's strengths. So this whole QB thing in Minnesota is kind of up in the air. I don't know how I would feel about Carson Wentz coming here. He is a good quarterback when he's healthy, but I think I texted JJ this last night. He's made of glass. He's a glass man. He's so injury prone, and I don't know. I think he finally got a whole season under his belt this last season, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did have COVID though.
Oh yeah.
But you got that from a reputable source, DJ. I just pulled it up. It's CBSSports.com, Minnesota Vikings emphasis. And they are basically saying in the Wentz Vikings named among top potential landing spots for Carson Wentz. So, the media is saying that, DJ, tells me one thing is Kirk's probably not going to be with us next year. And that gets me even more excited because we could land. But, if we move Kirk, it has to be somebody better, right? Or is it somebody worse to suck for 1 or 2 years to get that better draft pick? I don't know what to do or what to think.
To be honest, I don't know. I was going to say, especially in Kwesi's first year, I don't see him doing that. That wouldn't look good on his part. You come in and then you get rid of Kirk Cousins. Yeah, okay, that's good. You freed up the cap a little bit, and then you bring in a quarterback that absolutely sucks, and we're in the bottom feeders of the league. I mean, that doesn't look good on your first year as a GM, and it just kind of would make us think like, okay, did we really hire the right guy for this job? I think Kwesi's smarter than that. I don't think he would go for that. So if Kirk does leave, I think that it definitely would be an upgrade.
A better quarterback.
Yeah, I just think that Kwesi's a smarter guy than that. He's an analytic guy, so I don't know. He would have to. I'm sure he'd figure something out. So,
well, I'm sure the analytics DJ are telling him to keep Kirk Cousins based off of his stats, but his stats are so misleading because some of the times he's making big plays that they're meaningless plays, if you know what I mean, for
yeah,
Kirk Cousins. But that's always been a strike on him. Another thing is his overall record in the NFL is, I don't know. He's 59-59-2, and Matt Stafford has a worse record than Kirk as a starter, but now as a Super Bowl quarterback. So does that give him potential to be that guy, to be the guy, or can he not be the guy? I don't know the answer. I'm just going to ask you that, DJ.
I was gonna say, you gotta look at it from this point of view. Is Kirk, is Kirk your answer to this quarterback position? Is he the guy long term? Like, if I were Kwesi, I'd be thinking about that too. Like, okay, if we know that this guy isn't our long term quarterback, and there's a chance to just trade him now, why not do it sooner than later?
Get it over with.
Yep.
I agree totally.
If you know that he's not going to be here, if he's not in your plans long time or long term, why just keep him around for a year and just play him? Like, why not get another guy in here and work on building the future sooner than just waiting around, basically?
Now, if we did get Kyler Murray, what excitement level does that bring you to, DJ?
I don't even know. To see Kyler Murray throw to Jefferson and Thielen, oh man.
That
I
would
mean,
be exciting.
I mean, Kyler has weapons. I mean, he's got D-Hop, one of the best wide receivers in the league, but the Jet is up and coming, one of the best receivers as well. So I would be pretty dang excited. I would say probably at least an 8 out of 10 excitement level if Kyler comes here.
Wow. The truth comes out. DJ's excited for once.
Well, we don't know if that's going to happen or not. I think that's kind of that's getting our hopes way too high.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no magical wand that you can wave to get the correct answer. You got to do trial and error and analytical analysis. And like you said, DJ, I'm pretty impressed with Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, and I think Kwesi Kevin combination could be there for a long, long time.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is the LA Rams Super Bowl parade, the champions. So I got I put together a little kind of collage thing here. So the first thing is some of the players were wearing shirts with a picture of a shirtless Cooper Kupp from high school, and it said Super Bowl MVP on it. You can see it in the top right there. Matthew Stafford is wearing it. I don't know if it started with Andrew Whitworth, but apparently someone thought that Andrew Whitworth went out of his way and went to a custom press to have this shirt made. And no, he spoke up and told someone that a fan threw it to him, so he just put it on.
Oh my gosh. That's a kind of cool picture. You guys can barely see it, right? Upper corner. That's Matt Stafford with a young boy Cooper Cup on his t-shirt that he got
Yep.
from a fan. Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, Big Wit's got one on too.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah, and then I didn't get a picture of it on here, but Matt Stafford was he's going a little crazy. He was ch- chugging a huge long tall bottle of tequila. He was just chugging it, and you can see the tweet up in the top left from Tom Brady, and Tom Brady says, "Mix in a water, Matt. Trust me."
Oh,
We all know how Tom Brady's was it Disneyland last year, or was it the parade where he was just drunk and he had
they were
someone help him walk? And
they were on the boats and they were throwing the trophy back and forth from
yeah,
him to
but when
Gronk's boat.
they were on land though. When Tom Brady, he couldn't even walk. He had to have someone help him walk. He was so drunk.
Oh god. I bet those guys don't drink all that much.
Probably not.
Considering what I mean, maybe one or two a week, but nothing like nothing like Matt Stafford looked like he was putting things away, putting them down.
Right. And then another little thing about Matthew Stafford, kind of a sad deal at the parade was they were on stage. Matt and his wife were on stage, and a photographer was kind of kneeling down trying to get a picture of them, and she fell off the stage and she actually fractured her spine.
Oh no.
And what was her name? It was Kimberly Smiley, you said, JJ?
Kelly Smiley, yeah.
Kelly Smiley, okay. Yeah. And I didn't know this until JJ just told me before we started that did you say Stafford and the Rams both are going to pay for her hospital bill? And
Yeah, DJ, they've agreed because they were I think what the thing of the origination of the picture was supposed to be him and his wife on stage, and she was kneeling down, backing up, and she fell backwards. And then Stafford turned around and walked away, and they got that on film. And then
yeah,
isn't Stafford's wife named Kelly too?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah, and she bent down and was screaming or something, and then that was released on social media and NFL.com that Stafford and the Rams are going to pay for everything. So that was nice. It's a sad story. I feel bad for Kelly, but
Yeah.
Kelly Smiley, it's too bad.
Yeah. Hopefully she can recover and you know, get back to what she is doing. And just hope for a speedy recovery, and kind of good job on Stafford and the Rams for stepping up and paying for that. So the next thing is you can see it in the bottom right corner. That's Cooper Cup there in Kobe jersey, number 8 on the front and 24 in the back. And he wore this jersey and he said, Kobe is a part of this, and he belongs here. He set the standard here for the championship. It's only right that Kobe is a part of a championship. That's just completely amazing. An MVP to an MVP. Cooper Kupp is Super Bowl MVP, but I thought about this earlier. I'm gonna say this: Cooper Kupp is my NFL MVP. I don't care. I don't care about Rodgers. In my eyes, he's my MVP. But That's just kind of cool, a cool tribute to Kobe that Cooper Cup did, and obviously, it's LA, so we all know Kobe played his whole career with the LA Lakers, and it's just a really cool tribute to him. He passed away 2 years ago in that helicopter crash, so I thought that was just really cool. I had to put that in there. So,
And Cooper Cup won you a fantasy football championship pretty much single-handedly.
yeah, he's my fantasy MVP as well. He's just
Oh,
MVP
there
all
you
over the
go.
place.
Yeah.
And just one quick other thing about another Rams players. I heard a podcast today, and they had Eric Weddle on there. So Eric Weddle, he retired for a couple of years, and he came back for the postseason here. And Eric Weddle is also known as the Beard. Uh, he
The
played
beard.
for I think the Ravens and the Rams, and then he came back to the Rams. He tore his pec in the Super Bowl, and he played through it.
No way.
Yeah, he tore his pec, and he said on the podcast that he just had to play through it. He said, I there is no tomorrow for me. There's no next season because he's done now. He's done a Super Bowl. He's gonna stay retired now. He's already said that. So he said that there's no tomorrow. There's no next season for me. So I have a job to do, and I'm gonna finish it. And he he had the green dot too in the Super Bowl. So McVay gave him the headset with the earpiece in it where he can the defensive coordinator calls the plays into him, and then he tells the rest of the defense out there what they're running. So he kind of had a responsibility to do that as well. And he said that after he initially got injured, I think it was the next play he got kneeled on, and he said that pain was a pain that he had never experienced in his life, but he kept going until the
Gee,
end.
that's unbelievable.
So that just goes to show you how tough that guy is, and Eric Weddle, just tough guy, and glad to see him get a ring as well too. So, and then in other news, the other side of the Super Bowl, the Bengals, they signed head coach Zach Taylor to an extension through the 2026 season. Now, he was, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was on the hot seat after the last season, because I'm pretty sure the Bengals only had like 4 wins in that season.
Yep.
And then he turns it completely around and brings the Bengals to the Super Bowl. And then gets an extension for another 4 years. You go from the hot seat to an extension in 1 year. That's pretty good.
That's kind of what happened to the Vikings and Zimmer and Cousins too. They got that playoff win against the Saints, and they give them extensions after 1 year of Kirk.
Yeah.
So it can always backfire too. You just speaking of Kirk, real quick, there's a breaking article from Courtney Cronin, ESPN, on the Vikings that they are going to build the offense around Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that too. That I mentioned that a little earlier too, but
yeah, it just came out at 8:30, so you guys might want to head over to ESPN and read up on that. Doesn't sound real positive if you're a fan that wants change at the quarterback position, but interesting.
yeah, I guess we will only know the truth once it comes from Kwesi or Kevin. So this next thing, another Rams player. OBJ, he's set to have surgery on his torn ACL, which he tore that in the Super Bowl. And we talked about that in the last episode on how big of an impact he had in the Super Bowl and how they struggled after he was out of the game. So OBJ is a free agent going into free agency here, but he did say that he does want to stay in LA with the Rams and he will take a discounted contract. So I definitely see OBJ staying with the Rams, and I think it's a good fit for him. Like I've said numerous times that he's staying out of trouble and he's not really in the news with drama and everything like that, like he has in the past with when he was with the Browns and kind of the end there with the Giants. So he's kind of keeping his head clean with the Rams. So I think it's a good fit. I think it's a good idea for him to stay there with the Rams, and hopefully he can recover from this ACL speedily and get back out there on the field next season for the Rams.
Well, I don't think NFL fans realize how stacked the Rams can possibly be if they get Robert Woods, Odell Beckham Jr., and MVP Cooper Kupp all on the same field at the same time. I mean, we're talking dangerous. That's a triple threat. That's what the Vikings had with Chris Carter, Jake Reed, and Randy Moss. A legit threesome. And I think the Vikings have that going for them too. But back to the OBJ, it's just like this guy's wised up. He realized that you don't get that many opportunities in the league.
Right.
And he really showed out and balled out at the Super Bowl. I just really wish he went to tore his ACL. God, what a bummer, dude.
All right. And another thing with the Rams, I did hear it's I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a for sure thing, but I did hear that McVay is coming back next year. I just don't think that McVay is going to leave Matthew Stafford high and dry like that. You just bring him here for 1 year, win a Super Bowl, and hey, by the way, I'm leaving. See ya. Like I don't think that's how McVay is. And I did hear there was something on Instagram where his fiance posted a picture and it said, by the way, he's not retiring. And it was a picture of Sean McVay drinking wine on the couch.
Sweet.
So it sounds like Sean McVay will be back. It kind of sounded like Aaron Donald will be back next year. He did talk about running it back at the parade yesterday. So that kind of leans towards him coming back.
Jeez,
like
I don't
said,
see why he won't.
Right. I honestly think he'll be back. He's not going to retire. But Andrew Whitworth, on the other hand, I don't know. He's old. He's older. He's 40. I think he's 40 years old, and I think he's really going to take the off season to take some time to think about it. So we'll see what Big Whit does. So I just had to throw that out there. That it sounds like McVay will be back. And then this last thing before we wrap up here, I know it's very, very early. We're not even a week off of the Super Bowl 56, but I got to ask, what's your very early prediction for Super Bowl 57 winner in Arizona next year, JJ?
Well, I'm going to give you the top two teams or one team in each conference. And my first inkling is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I know you might like that, but that team is built right now with their quarterback, their offensive line, and their plug-and-play running backs to pretty much they're locked in. And then on the NFC side, Tampa Bay has a really good roster, it all depends on where the quarterbacks decide to land this year. But besides Tampa, I'd have to put it on. I like they said early, Vikings are 40-1 right now, so that doesn't mean much. But the Rams are like 10-1, so I'd probably put my money behind the Rams right now. The Rams and the Chiefs would be my two selections.
um, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
To be honest,
No way, DJ.
Let so that we're not the same. I mean, those would be my first two picks out of each conference. So if I had to go down the list to the second spots for predictions, I would have to go AFC. Let's see. I don't really like this pick, but I'm gonna say Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, I like it.
And then for the NFC, the NFC is hard just because we don't know what's going to go on with Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what's going to go on with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
We don't
Murray.
know. Yeah, Kyler Murray. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback of the Saints. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback of the Bucks. So the NFC is really hard to predict, but if I had to put my finger on someone, man, I don't even know. Well, I guess I'll say this: if Rodgers stays in Green Bay, I'll say Green Bay.
Safe pick.
I don't like either of those picks, to be honest. I don't like Buffalo. I don't like Green Bay, but I am picking them as my second predictions behind the Chiefs and the Rams to win next year's Super Bowl. Man,
You
I don't
know
know
what, DJ? If you would have went first, you would have said Kansas City, LA, and then I would have said Buffalo and Green Bay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, dude.
Oh
Great,
man,
we do that a lot on, especially the award show. How many did we have right and have the same? I think it was at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think all of them except for like 3 of them we were off.
Yeah. Jeez.
Man, that's just crazy right there. That's I don't know. Good football minds, I guess, thinking alike there. Even though they were picks I didn't like, but I just thought they were good picks to have a prediction for. So, all right. Well, I guess that's where we'll wrap up there. That's the last thing we had for the show. So, our next episode will be next week. We might be moving to 1 day a week here. I'm not quite sure. So, our next episode will either be next Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. We'll probably be posting an update on that to tell you what day it is. So in the meantime, go make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our social media pages and our YouTube channel. I think people are forgetting about our YouTube channel. Go check us out there. Subscribe to that. And our link is in our description. So go click on the link. All of our links are on there. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All of our podcast platforms are on there as well. And yeah, just one click and it'll bring you right to each platform, each social media page. So just check it out, follow us, and subscribe. So I guess that's it. This is DJ and JJ from High Hope Sportscast, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
See ya.